A big welcome to you, my dear Capricorn. The sun now is in Gemini, and when the sun is in Gemini, we understand that we want to shine a light out in the love that we have found deep within ourselves. And we're going to the right, we're going to the full moon, so I'm going to place here the 6 and here the 19. Understand, when we calculate the 19 together, we get a 10. The 10 and the 6 is the 16, and that's Mars. Things gotta go that hold you back from being whole. And the 7 appears, which is the emotional intelligence that we need to get there. Now the sun is giving, of course, the light to the moon, which is today in your sign, and that's how I use this reading. I use the moon that gives me the subconscious when it's in your sign. Now if it happens to be in your chart, great, but it's not necessary. And so here we have the 15 and here the 18. The 15 turns into the 6, the 18 into the 9, the 9 and the 6, the 15. You appear again. So through your subconscious, you're learning clearly to understand who you truly are. Then we're going to look at Jupiter. Jupiter just has moved into Cancer, and we're going to look at what Jupiter wants to tell you. And of course, we're also going to look at Saturn. Saturn is ruling you, and Saturn has moved into Aries. And so a lot of planets are shifting into new signs. Then we're going to look, of course, at the Queen of Pentacles. That's you. Now, I usually gave you a date to the Queen of Pentacles, but I'm going to even divide it more now. So here's the Queen of Pentacles between the 12th of December to the 21st of December. But she has Temperance as the soul aspect above her, right? So she's the Queen of Pentacles with Temperance above as a soul aspect between the 12th of December and the 21st of December. Then we have the pure Capricorn, which is between the 22nd of December to the 8th of January. There you have the soul aspect, here the devil, and here as the Queen of Pentacles. That's the pure Capricorn, right? And then we have the King of Swords with above the devil, and that's between the 9th of January to the 20th of January. And here we have, in this deck, we have a masculine and a feminine King of Swords, and the soul aspect is here the devil. So watch, right, where your birthday falls in, and so you can see that the reading is different. Now, the reading here with the Temperance energy as a soul is in the previous reading because the moon was in Sagittarius, and Temperance is Sagittarius. So you gotta have to look into that reading. We're also gonna look into the last reading just to see if there's anything coming back. And it was the second time Taurus Sun giving Capricorn Moon the light. And when the second time the Sun is giving you a sign, it means that this time you really need to look into what Taurus is wanting to tell you. The magic of being a spiritual star is slowly dawning on you. And I looked if there's a reoccurring card, and there is not. Right, I always have to look very closely because sometimes I use a different deck then because it's a different sign, and I do not see some reoccurring card. Okay, we can begin the reading. So we begin always with the Court card, and we begin with the Queen of Pentacles, and that's the 10th house of career and success, and you get the Page of Cups. And the Pages is, of course, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So the 10 and the 3 is the 13. There is a transformation already right there. Something is saying something's gotta go. You gotta become more loving. Because sometimes you are the one that is having a hard time being or showing the love. The 4 appears, and the 4 is the Emperor. What comes from the Mother Piece? You get the Shaman of Cups to the right, which is Scorpio. So there is a Scorpio. And there is this connection to the Scorpio, even through a younger time. Maybe it's a young person. But here the 8 and the 3 is the 11. And the 11 is immediately the portal. And here's the 10. And so 3 times the 1 and the 0. And so when Scorpio appears, you kind of understand that something is really talking to you about becoming intuitive, becoming sensitive to the emotions of this one particular Scorpio. What is coming from Scorpio? The 8 of Wands, which is Mercury in Sagittarius. And Mercury in Sagittarius is saying, well, then things are going to happen really fast. You see that? It's like an 8-8 portal here. The 13 turns into a 4. And so you understand that something's going to happen really fast because Mercury is the magician, is the messenger. Then the information is going to come. Then there is something that is going to happen really fast. What is going to happen really fast? Something you're going to have to figure out for yourself. Right? But you understand that this is talking. Okay, the King of Swords is getting the Queen of Cups. And that's Cancer. And so we see here the 11 and the 4. And the 4 is what was left from here, the Queen of Pentacles and the Pages. Right, we had the 13 there and the 4 was left. Aries, the Emperor. And she's the 4th zodiac sign of home. And Jupiter has moved into Cancer. So Cancer is wanting to tell you something. Now, of course, I can also take the feminine king. Now here are 2 women. Or there's a woman and a man. Right? So what is coming from Cancer? The Princess of Wands. The princesses are the pages. And so we have the 4 and the 3, a 7, and the 11 here. The 11th of July or the 7th of November could be a date. But since we're reading to the right to the full moon, I think it's the 11th of July. And something is coming here, really strong. The action, the movement, and you see the movement of her hair too. So the 4 and the 3 creates the union between the masculine and the feminine, and then the emotional intelligence again is coming here. What is coming from the Mother Piece? You get the 2 of Cups to the left. And that's Venus in Cancer, and you see that it's pointing to her. So there is a love, there is something quite special. Venus is the Empress. So someone is letting you know that the Empress is talking here. Particularly also to the King of Swords. And you understand that the 11th zodiac sign is the 11th house of community and technology. And technology is making us now fall in love with people that we never met. Back then, you could only fall in love if you meet the person. Now it's like, oh, I like the way he looks. And then we get to know them, and maybe it's not what we think it is. So the 7 and the 2 is the 9, right? So now the date has changed. The 11th of September. And so maybe there's an Aquarius and a Cancer falling in love, or maybe here there are of course all 3 pages, which is Aries, Leo and Sagittarius. So definitely there is a love here flourishing, but I always see it as a self-love, the same way I see the Lovers as a self-love. Okay, so we continue into the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is bringing Mermaid's Love. Now this is really interesting because here the 2 of Cups, we see half human, half fish. And this is exactly what's happening here. You see that? This is crazy. But it turned this way and it came here. And so there is something. The Wheel of Fortune is bringing you someone that is so opposite of you, but it's exactly what you need to fall in love with. And so here we have the 24. The 20 is the Last Judgment. The 4, that's the Queen of Cups. That's Cancer. And we get the 6, and the 6 we know is the Lovers. So the 10 and the 6, the 16, again, something is wanting to go. What is coming from Cancer? The High Priestess is coming. And the High Priestess is empowered through this magical love. The High Priestess is ethereal, and so the 2 and the 2 is the 22, and that's of course Uranus, and Uranus is gonna go into Gemini, the Lovers, in July. And we had July, right? We had the 11th of July. So we had here the 16. The 16 turns into a 7. The 7 and the 2 is the 9, the completion. But what is bringing you the High Priestess? She's bringing you the Chariot, and that's Cancer. So when here the Wheel of Fortune is now in Cancer, you're gonna have a heightened consciousness. You're gonna feel strong what's going on. You're gonna feel these 2 as well. And so in a way this is coming back right to this, because it's the Moon ruled, and here she's the Moon ruled as well. So the 2 and the 7 is a 9. The 16 becomes the 7. The 9 and the 7 is the 16. The 7 is left. So the Wheel of Fortune is really bringing you some very interesting love. A love that makes you become really sensitive and successful in what you're gonna do with that sensitivity. And of course with this kind of love, it's a special love. Then the Moon is bringing you the 42, the netcaster, the preparation come to fruition. And the netcaster, that's where we cast or catch the fish. Catch the fish. Catch the fish. And he has all the fish behind him. And catch the fish in the cup. All 3 water signs. Now we have, of course, already Scorpio. We have the Queen of Cups, Cancer. The 42, again, we have the reverse number, the 24, the 6, 6. So what are you catching in this net? Preparation come to fruitions. And we see here the seahorse. And she's holding a seahorse. And it's really interesting because don't let that happen. She's holding him because he's the one that gives birth to the babies. He's a very special man. And here he's in the net. There's no seahorse here with the Scorpio. Okay, so the 6 and the 9 is Then the 15 is you, and the 6 appears. What is coming from your deck? The 2 of Wands, which is Mars in Aries. So Mars, which rules Aries, is coming and saying, well, you gotta know what you're doing. Did you caught this seahorse? And what are you doing with the seahorse? You have this specific person, and these two are also coming together, going to the left. And here the dolphin jumping under the moon. And when we see the moon here to the right, the moon is getting bigger, is waxing. So the 15 and the 2 is the 17. That's Aquarius, and Aquarius is here the King of Swords. That's the star, right? The magic of being a spiritual star slowly dawning on you. Maybe you caught something quite strong. The 8 is left. And the 8 is the infinite knowing that everything comes and goes. Nothing stays fixed. The Sun is bringing you the inner core. That solid aspect that can be liberated. We have the number 18, and the 18 is, of course, the moon. And so something is leaving, something is liberating. The seahorse is liberating itself. The 10 and the 18 is the 9, the 10 and the 9, the 19, the 10 is left. A new chapter can come to you. What is coming from Gemini, Temperance, Sagittarius? Now Sagittarius is in here. Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Young generation. The drive, the force to make things happen. The dark and the light. The 14 is the 5. So we had the 10 and the 5. That's the 15. That's you. And then the 6 again is left. And you understand that the 15 is important for you, right? The 15 is like the 5 senses plus one more sense, or the Wheel of Fortune, and the Wheel of Fortune is bringing you the mermaid's love. And through the mermaid's love, through Cancer, you're getting the High Priestess, and you are getting the Chariot. So there is a love, maybe with a Cancer. And Cancer is opposite of you. It's going to give you the light in the next reading for your full moon. And so here it is. Wow, right? So, understand. The 6 is left. You are left. You are here to experience something extraordinary, a liberation, a guardian angel. What is Sagittarius saying? The 8 of Bowls, which is Saturn in Pisces. Now Saturn is in Aries. It was in Pisces, but now it's in Aries. And we're going to look at it. And that's when we leave something that's really good for something that we know can be even better. Right? That can be better. Someone that we really can chill. Someone that we can really be together. Someone that's really extraordinary. And so the 6 and the 8 is the 14, and the 14 turns into the 5. So understand your 5 senses, liberate yourself through them, and know that you gotta leave when it's time to leave. And now Saturn in Aries, you get the world again. 2 times the world, 21, 21. Now when we calculate together, we get the 3, 3. The 33 is mastery. You are mastering to connect with the world on a very special level. And so Aries is bringing you the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune brought you mermaid's love. And so the 33, the 10 and the 6, the 16, the 7, that's your next reading, the full moon, Cancer. The emotional intelligence to know what is happening here. And the Wheel of Fortune is spinning and brought you the High Priestess. Wow, this is really powerful. So the 33 and the 7, right? It's like you are going to a very, very, very high level of intuition, high level of inspiration, high level of healing the world, holding the coin, knowing that you can be someone that is in love with someone that is so opposite of you. But it works when we allow it to flow through us. It works. It's that moment where we recognize, wow, right? It's like so many signs are coming. She's holding the seahorse, and here the seahorse is in the net. And it's a 6-6. I mean, it's like 666. So beautiful, right? You are really, actually, you have a 666. Look at this. You are looking for someone special, and you should not be with someone that is not that what you think it is, because that's what the 8 of Bowls is. We're leaving and we're searching for someone that is the soul partner. And that's the 8, the Saturn in Pisces. We leave something that's so good, but we know there is even better. And that's what you're doing. You're going, and it can happen fast, the 8-8. And you see here, it's like Scorpio's there. You're gonna go deep with this person, like really deep. So, and I think it's gonna come in your next full moon. Cancer is here, and the High Priestess is here. So all you gotta do is just really understand that you have here also the 22 with the 2 of Cups and the 2 of Wands. That's the masculine, that's the feminine. That's the community here. That's the love that is here, right? That is saying, well, the fire and the water come together. The 22, that's Uranus. And Uranus is going to go into Gemini in July. And it's like, that's when you're going to be the High Priestess. Wow, what a beautiful reading. Sometimes it's simple, clear, cut. I don't need to explain too many things. So I love that. And of course, I hope I see you in the next reading. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.